Hi and welcome. I'm the Reverend Dr. Cheryl Gaver, Presbyterian minister of 3 congregations in Eastern Ontario, and I'm also the questioning pastor. This week, something caught my eye, news item. And it said that 1/3 of people in Canada and the United States don't believe the Holocaust actually happened. And we could get into all sorts of evidence and proofs that it did, but forget that. I think part of the problem is we don't like to think that we're bad people, or we could ever be that bad that would actually intentionally, deliberately commit genocide. Well, let me show you just how easy it is for it to have happened in the past and in the present. The first thing you need is to have a group of people that you hate, you don't like. They're the ones that are causing all the problems around you, whether it's Muslims or Jews, Black people or white people, Republicans or Democrats, conservatives or liberals, or Native people. Doesn't matter. They're the ones that are responsible. They're the ones that are causing problems. If only. Secondly, let's imagine you now have the power to do something. Okay? You can start to put your plans into action. And the first thing you want to do is you want to force them to dress like you. Forget local customs, forget religious icons or whatever. Forget talking the way you do. You're going to have to stop doing anything that's somehow different. Let's pass some laws to make sure that whatever you stand for is forbidden. We're going to determine what's in the education system. We're going to determine what's in who gets hired. Okay. So let's get rid of the teachers. Not the teachers in general, but let's get rid of those Muslim teachers or Jewish teachers or Black teachers, because they're the ones causing the problem. There's the ones that are teaching something we don't believe in. Then we start to ban the books they've written. I mean, it's not just the teachers, it's what they're writing that's so bad. Well, I don't really want to deal with those people at all. So let's start banning them. They can't work in the bank. I don't want to see a Muslim in the bank, or a Jew, or a Native person, or a Black person, or a white person, or an Asian person. Okay, doesn't really matter. Let's just ban them. We don't want them working in the banks. We don't want them on the buses with us. We basically don't want to see that they exist. We start saying, you can't buy in this area. You can't live in my part of town. It's not so far-fetched, is it? And then you start saying, boy, aren't these lazy people? They lie around all day. Well, of course, they're not allowed to work. They're not allowed to own property. They're not allowed to compete with us. They're not allowed to rent to us. Why should we have to pay rent to a Black person, or a Muslim, or a Jew, or a Chinese, or a white person? Why shouldn't we just ban them from being able to sell us anything? We don't want to give them money. So now they're poor, broke, can't afford a place to live. Well, we always knew they were bums in the first place, didn't we? So let's just throw them into prison. Oh, okay, they haven't committed a crime. The crime is they are who they are. So let's just lock them up. Not in prison necessarily, but we'll put gates around their community. We'll let them out during the day so they can do our work, clean our houses and whatever, and then go back home and we'll lock the doors on them so that we're safe at night. And of course, we can't let them vote. Oh my gosh, they might want changes and that would affect us. So no, we can't have them vote. And then they start complaining that they don't have the same resources, the same privileges we do. Maybe they don't have access to clean water or safe homes. Well, that's their tough luck, isn't it? We don't want to spend money on them. We don't want to spend money to clean up the water or anything. Basically, we just want them gone. And at that point, someone comes up with an idea. Let's do experiments on them. I mean, they're just sitting there doing nothing. So we can test them on different things, give them vaccines that we aren't sure if they'll work right. We can do unnecessary surgeries. We can just kill them, solve the problem. And that's how easy it is to get from hate to genocide. The Holocaust was not a once-only event. And it didn't just happen in Nazi Germany. Stalin did it to his own people. In Myanmar, you had the Rohingya. Rwanda, Cambodia, the Khmer Rouge. When India and Pakistan were partitioned, hate is hate. So you might say, well, why are the Jews talking so much about the Holocaust? They're not the only ones to have suffered. Well, we have evidence. And actually, if you want to read Mein Kampf, go ahead. I think you get to about page 22 and you see it's obvious that when Hitler gets power, you know exactly what he's going to do. And that Mein Kampf was the textbook for the Nazis. And you don't have to get very far before you see the plan laid out step by step. But let's get back to the Nazis. When the idea first came up, people were saying, well, no, we're civilized people. We can't do it. There'll be too many protests. And the response was, who remembers the Armenian genocide? Yeah. Genocides are not new. And when no one bothered to keep talking about what was happening to the Armenians, we can do it again. No one bothers to talk about what happened to Rwanda, we can do it again. No one bothers to talk about, we do talk about the Holocaust. Maybe we can't stop it from happening in the future, but maybe we can stop some of them. The Holocaust is not just about remembering. Talking about the Holocaust isn't just about remembering what happened in the past. It's also saying, look what we were capable of. Look at the hell we were willing to create. Look at how we let hate take over our lives. We have to work to make sure it doesn't happen again. Oh, Christians? We're better than that, aren't we? Yeah, right. And what did we do to the Blacks and the indigenous people? You want to go back to the 1600s? Look what we did to the women. Just accuse them of witches. Hey, good excuse, burn them at the stake. Hate is hate. And it leads to only one place: death, genocide, mass murder. It doesn't matter whether it's of a whole race, which is what genocide is, a whole gender, women, a whole group of people, LGBTQ or Blacks, doesn't matter. Hate will only lead to destruction and death. You want to think we're better than that? Then work to fight hate. Work to protect people's rights. Work to ensure that all people have access to the same privileges that you do, and the same responsibilities. Privileges and responsibilities do go hand in hand. Work to bring out the best of who you are. Christianity tries, and so does Judaism, and so does Islam, and Hinduism, and Buddhism. We've all been guilty of genocide, but we're also all working, trying to bring out the best of who we are. The choice is yours. Hate or love, as it's always been. Once again, I'm the Reverend Dr. Cheryl Gaver, the questioning pastor, and thank you for joining us today. Take care and God bless.